Okay, kiddos, will you sit down? And can I request all the parents to say hi now? Yeah. Okay. So I have done probably 1,000 pieces of public speaking in my life. I've been a shark. I'm supposed to be very confident, but I'm terribly scared of speaking to all of you. So please help me through this. Let me ask the question. Kids, how many of you watch Shark Tank? Some of you watch Shark Tank? Okay. So what I do, kids, is I'm going to give 10 minutes of advice to your parents because you guys know everything, and then I'll tell you 5 minutes of Shark Tank stories. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. But first we have to give advice to your parents about managing money, and then we'll talk about Shark Tank stories. Okay? So I just want to start, and Ajit has spoken quite extensively, but I'm also the mother of a 1.5-year-old, and today someone called my son Baby Shark in school and he started kissing a girl. So I'm a very scared mother. But as a new mother, I've been thinking about my son, money and the future. So this is just a mother giving you some advice about money. Now, usually when parents, and Ajit covered this really nicely, think about money and think about their kids. They think things like, what do kids know about money? Kisko kya pata? They haven't grown up in the hard circumstances that we have. These things. But the reality is, kids have grown up in a very different generation. Now, the kids in this room have a phone. Some of you have a phone, kids? Yeah? How long when you told your papa or mama that I want a phone? Not very long, right? Because you grew up in a generation in India where a phone was something you very easily got. But parents, even people like me, we grew up in India where you had to wait 10 years to something like Edelweiss. You know, when I grew up as a kid, guess what I was watching on TV? I was watching things like Tom and Jerry. You guys are watching things like Shark Tank. So, the message I want to send to the parents here is the kids are growing up in a very different India. They are actually hearing words, equity. So, by the time they are 18, they are actually already ready to invest. Grow up in the India that we grew up. And so, why should you include your kids in the money process? Just a few points and then I'll leave you with 5 pieces of advice. First is that, you know, many of us grew up without guidance about money. But you grew up in a more India. Your kids with financial guidance as they need. So why should you involve your kids in the money process? One is, it gives them a head start in life. All of us didn't grow up with money guidance. I didn't grow up with money guidance. Today's kids have the opportunity to have money guidance from a very young age. The second thing is, Ajit said is, you know, good habits start early in life and money forms a part of good habits. The third is that, you know, we are growing up in India where kids have to take risks, and talking to kids about money will help them take the right risks as they build their careers. So here are 5 tips on money for parents. The first is, I don't know if any of you recognize these words, SST, BFM and KPK. But these were money stories that I heard in my childhood. SST in Hindi stands for Sasta Sundar Tikau. When my mother went to the market and I was a kid, she always said, buy something that is Sasta Sundar Tikau, cheap, durable. She always used to say whatever we need to buy has to be value for money. That was BFM. And whenever we used to go to a boring family wedding, she said, we must go to the wedding and do KPK, which is Khao Pio and Kisko. How do you expect your children to have the respect for money without sharing your own stories of money? So much of my influences of money have come from my parents sharing these stories. The second thing is, this is my son, he's 1.5 years old, and he's holding a piggy bank. What you can do when your children is born is start an SIP for those children very early. Start a virtual piggy bank. As the child grows up, he or she will enjoy seeing his SIP grow, his SIP multiply. The third thing you can do is, for those of you who have older children, say the child has just started earning 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees, you can encourage them to start saving from their first salary. You know, we are never short of expenses. Zomato hai, Swiggy hai, Netflix hai, all of these are expensive. But you can encourage your children to start saving a small amount on a 50,000 salary, even 1,000 or 2,000 rupees a month via an SIP, so that they build good habits. The fourth is, this is a scene from a movie called Dil Dhadakne Do, where the parents are clearly in a financial crisis, but they are struggling to share it with children. All of us go through problems that are related to money. I think it's important we are honest with our children about the problems that we have with money. And finally, you know, when you leave an inheritance to children, make sure that the inheritance you leave is clean. I keep telling my father, don't leave me with 7 properties in Delhi and physical share certificate. Eddie was just telling me, I don't want to manage that. So think about what you are leaving behind for your children. I just want to share, do the kids recognize this guy? So this guy just featured on Shark Tank on last Friday. He is a 22-year-old from a small town in UP, and he is a first-time entrepreneur who has spent 6 years understanding India's shopkeepers so that he can build the world's first smart calculator for shopkeepers. He is a company called Two Hands. This is another group of young Indians who built a company that sells lab-created diamonds. They also don't come from a jewelry business. And this is another young girl who used to work at a company called Swiggy, who is building a restaurant business. These to me represent the kind of baby sharks that are sitting in many of the kids in the room. And I hope you work towards educating them on finance and building their corpus so that they also realize these stories. Thank you.